I'm sending this message because it must be done, because destiny demands that I do it. I'm not sending this message to receive any sort of personal enrichment, nor to save any or help any group of people, nor any individual, though apparently it will. I am Dr. Z from the year 20.23. This message is transmitted over the last remnants of what you know as the internet. I will explain to you how this is done at a later time. For now, let me assert that the application of quantum mechanics and quantum physics allows me to send this quantum shaft, or Q shaft, backwards in time. The length of each Q shaft must be no longer than 6.53 minutes due to the vast amount of energy needed to send one. I can send no more than one Q shaft every 7.17 days. The purpose of this initial Q shaft is to explain why I am sending this message to you. Is everything going okay?
Good, no problem.
I was informed by the Drifters, an alliance of about 100,000 people who have survived the turmoils of the last 14 years, that the first internet message from Dr. Z was downloaded at the time of Mr. Obama's presidential inauguration. In that first message, Dr. Z stated that he was sending the message from the year 20.23. Since I'm the only person who can send a message back in time, the sender must have been me. So I must do what has already been done. I do not want to involve in the process, but I must. Also reported by the Drifters, no one was ever able to determine from whom the warning messages came. They explained that Dr. Z was always disguised and always in an anonymous location. Why this was done is unclear, but that is why I must appear as I do, and why these Q shafts are recorded in a nondescript locality. I have not heard of Dr. Z prior to 3 weeks ago. Most likely that's because I possess wealth that is too large to be measured by normal standards. This has allowed me to put in barriers in place so that no one, without my choosing, knows of my existence. I have separated myself from all cultural contact except for those who are immersed in the relativistic and quantum sciences. I am only interested in understanding the universe and my place within it. Unfortunately, I now find myself as some sort of cultural prophet in order to maintain the space-time continuum. The Drifters allege that early warnings from Dr. Z were what guided them through the initial perils. So if I must let loose warnings, I will tell you what your immediate future holds. The previous presidential administration built complex facades that hid the corruption and denigration that existed in most federal bureaucracies and most capital markets. Measurements that had been hidden from public scrutiny had been changed in the federal agencies. For example, if a standard of success was measured as 90% compliant, but the actual compliance was only 40%, the measure of compliance was changed so that the 40% became 90% compliant. During the same time, the U.S. stock market was manipulated by allies of the previous administration. The markets were artificially supported by the extremely wealthy to allow the passage of tax cuts for those boosting the market. The market dive at the end of the previous administration's rule was caused by these people removing their funds before the new administration took power. This caused the markets to return to a level they would have maintained without the monetary injection. These and many other discoveries were the seeds of revenge that will consume the energies in your future. End of Q Shaft 1.